pulling the creeps as well here. Whenever you see the Sentinel is pulling like this, you know they want to try to get a gank off. Generally, when you pull the lane, the creep wave is going to be really close to that Sentinel tower at the bottom. You can see that DGC is going to just give up an entire wave of EXP, rather hug the tower than fear death. And keep in mind that he has no wards as well, so he's playing that bot solo lane blind. And he's still not dying yet. You know, on the mid lane here, we do see PIS going on that Pugna here. It's going to push the Pugna away, forcing him to use a Sao, but he does have Bottle and even 2 Tango charges, so he is going to be okay. So, and given that how the mid lane is probably going to be ungankable, given though there's a lot of wards here and there, I think really PIS losing the mid lane is going to be having a huge effect on how this game is going. Meanwhile, huge diving attempt. Oh my god. Enigma is so very low HP this one, but Morphling is going to go down to the tower as well, so I apologize I missed the beginning half of that gank here. Probably just a standard Nova into Stormbolt into, you know, more waveform and whatnot, but DGC having the micro to control that Eidolon to attack the Morphling and end up picking up the Morphling. I think that was a good trade there, giving the first blood to the Sven, but killing the Morphling there. I mean, in a 1v3 situation, it's good to kill anything, right? But killing even the enemy enemy carry, that's going to be extremely good. Morphling actually ported mid, not exactly too sure why he did that. Basically, he's having absolutely free farm at bottom lane, or he should have absolutely free farm, but he's actually sitting at 6-1. My god, what is he doing? Like, did you see against 3 people have 11 and 6, while the Morphling has, you know, he should be having free farm, is sitting at, you know, 6-1. So something's wrong with LK. But actually, I heard LK has pretty bad farming in the early stages of the game, as we see another Stormbolt going in on the Enigma. Enigma is frostbitten, and looks like we do have waveform going in here, but again DGC microing his Eidolons and is gonna pick off the Sven as well. So good job by DGC, despite being initiated upon. Does don't go down without putting him a very good fight. Meanwhile, let me check how farm is going on the top lane. Dusa, played by Nirvana, so one of his best farming hero, is going to be sitting at 22 and 8, so really well farmed by him. Meanwhile, the Clockwork is sitting at 6-1. So I think farm for the most part is really in the favor of Scourge, at least in the ganking attempt on the is there Dream Coil? No Dream Coil, only level 5, and I'm not sure why he didn't winning Rift. Probably would have killed, but might as well gone for it anyways. But yeah, so going back to the farm, I think this farming wise, the side lanes for Nirvana China is being won by them, but the mid lane is lost by PIS. And PIS, I thought it was a very good solo mid, but apparently he's been losing mid solos fairly frequently. Lost a mid solo against Kuroki last time they played. Is losing a mid solo now against Pugna. But I think in both cases he did have probably the worst off hero, as we see Sven is going to be ganking here. He does get a silence off, but is going to dodging the stun, or at least delaying the stun, and is dodges the really good dodges from PIS there, but really just delaying the inevitable. But Sentinel roaming extremely well. That Sven not staying in that tri-lane, seeing that Enigma already has died twice, don't really stay here, as we see the Pugna going in, and Sven is going to come in from the other direction as well. I think that Venge is going to go down. Stormbolt does hit, and nice to Decryptify before the Stormbolt actually lands. And Roccat.Trust is going to find themselves a double kill. The score is 4-2 in favor of Sentinel. And this is exactly what you need to do against Zeus Dusa. Zeus Dusa is probably one of the best Dusa in the world. And he farms like no other, as we see even more initiate him. Going on the Enigma. Enigma is going to go down to LK. LK is stuck behind the trees. Tango's out safely and is going to be okay. Take some tower damage. Oh, nice blocking from DC. Very cute move there. Trying to get even more damage on that Morphling. Meanwhile, looking at top lane here, and let me see how that Clockwork is level. Yeah, he's level 5, right? This is exactly what I mean about Nirvana China kind of failing to tri-lane sometimes. They would have a very dominant lane, especially against a solo hero, but for whatever reason, they cannot keep their creep equilibrium such that the other hero doesn't get EXP. If you see LGD playing that line, oh my god, Dusa taking a lot of damage at this point. And Clockwork trying to get the deny, but he's actually very low as well. They're going to try to power down this tower, and let's see if, yes, Dusa is going to last hit that tower. Meanwhile, miss another kill on DGC. DGC starting to lose the lane because the tri-lane's going to get so much, they're so far in EXP such that they could just dive under tower. You do see the Morphling at level 7, the Sven at level 5. As I see another gank being missed by me. I apologize, I'm missing these ganks, but action is just going off absolutely everywhere. Under the tower fire, is that going to be Pugna? Pugna extremely low HP, and oh wow, magic stick for the save. Very lucky there, or not very lucky, very good reaction by the Pugna to save himself. So really well played ganking so far, and I think with the series of kills being picked up by Sentinel, I think Sentinel is definitely ahead as we see some Venge under a lot of fire here, and Venge is gonna get Stormbolt, and oh, there we go. Stormbolt is going to pick off the Venge, who is going to keep teleporting in. The Pug is going to TP in, but the mid tower is just taken down by the Pugna. And he's got to be careful. Can't really venture out too far. Let me check how the mid lane is doing. 42-7, level 8 Pugna versus 23-8 and a level 6. Oh, is he going to get a kill? Yes, he does get a kill, so that was some saving grace. But really, unfortunately, like, Nirvana China is so behind right now. It's 8-3. But if anything could carry you back in the game, this is going to be Nirvana. So Nirvana gets hooked right on the tower. TNK showing some moves here, but Mana Shield is just being a prick against Clockwork. Is he going to get a kill? Is Rocket cooling down? Rocket has like a 75 mana cost. No, never mind. Rocket has a very low mana cost. Did he pop his wand? He probably popped his wand or something. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, we do see Incense being picked off. That is the Vengeful Spirit, and so is the Enigma. I apologize for missing that action as well, but was watching top. So probably a Stormbolt, maybe stunning 2 heroes, most likely, and just got picked off. Crystal Maiden putting a very aggressive ward, and that's exactly what they need to do with the advantage here. Might as well, you know, with the successful ganking attempts they have been doing so far, might as well put very aggressive wards. And actually, I want to talk about this sentry ward here that is placed by Instance. If you actually place this sentry ward here, you could actually see this ramp, you could see here, and you could see up this ramp even so, as we see even more ganking attempt. Vice is just going to go down, and looks like Puck might be in trouble, Venge in trouble, so Freeze Bite is going to pick off the Puck, and looks like Venge is going to get Stormbolt to the face. 15-second cooldown. No, not Stormbolt, it's not even needed. Gives a kill to the Pugna. So my god, Nirvana China mostly just getting stopped, and they are gonna lose the mid tower as well. Keep in mind the Dusa just walks in, gets Brokeback Cog, pops their ultimate, making everyone to lose attack speed. But nice block coming from Puck here, and Dusa just basically feeds for absolutely no reason. So Nirvana China is having some sort of breakdown. But really, I mean, I'm not too sure. Like, I could almost feel their frustration coming from their play, because you know they're fighting fights like 3v3, but they're just losing them because Sentinel just have so much more advantage. Really it's praising the Sentinel more than knocking down Nirvana China, because they've just been ganking so well. Like I take everything back up I said about the Sven just showing that his warfare. And actually, Sven, extremely low HP, still going in here, but is probably going to pick up. Yeah, Vice just get picked off by like 100 HP Sven. That was just unlucky. Probably, I'm not sure why didn't he fire off a Yasuo assumption. Probably could have killed the Sven. Didn't check his mana or whatnot. But yeah, that's Sven just showing that his warfare, ganking extremely well. He roamed mid twice or 3 times, picked off the Pug, picked off the Venge, and then was in that big team fight as well. And then this Sven is so baller, ganking around with no HP, but is gonna finally go down, but not before giving a kill to that Morphling. Morphling is probably gonna one more hit. Oh, miss up the hill, but it's gonna go down to Pugna's Nether Blast, or just a single hit. There you go. So Nirvana China is just crumbling at this point. Let me see how they're farming. Like they probably don't have any gold, and they don't have any gold on anything. Dusa does have 57 creep kills, but only have a ring of health, and we do see the Sentinel team calling for a save here. Let me see how the item progression is on the Sentinel team instead, because probably they do have way more item. Pugna is sitting on the Mecha and Treads. Perseverance finish on the Morphling. I really don't like Perseverance first. I think last time we did see, I'm not too sure who played the Morphling, but that Morphling player went Perseverance first as well. And Perseverance first, yes, it's not bad. Lincoln Sphere does add you a lot more survivability, but Morphling is one of those heroes that needs like damage quick, especially now when you can't really replicate your own Manta image. You're actually losing even more damage, so you really need that Manta even more. So I know that's counterintuitive, where you can't replicate your own Morphling Manta image anymore, so you should still even more so get Manta. I know that like it's really makes no logical sense, but trust me on this, because like Morphling really needs early game damage. Oh, big hook coming in on the Dusa. Dusa trying his best to juke. Pops his ultimate, is trying to TB out, but no! What is Dusa doing there, man? Wow. Maybe he overestimated his ability, the Stone Gaze slow, but that Clockwork just caught up with the mini stun and just like stunned her. That's gotta be like the worst move I've seen Nirvana.cn making. But maybe he realized that he was gonna be stuck between a Pugna attacking from behind and a TP support coming in from the front anyways, and there was really no way he could have ran out, so might as well go for that small chance of escape. That was a little bit unfortunate. So anyways, let me continue checking out the Sentinel items. Sven does just have a boost of speed to his name. He is sitting at 53 gold. Did he buy something just now? What is on that Crow? There is a Blink Dagger in Crow. Okay, finally Sven does have a Blink Dagger. Okay, so you always hear me say that Sven doesn't do well in a tri-lane support because he can't really farm. And don't tell me after this game saying, well, look at the Sven here. He's doing really well. I think this game is really exception to the rule, because look at the score. It's 19-4 for fuck's sake. So this is not an indication that Sven is a tri-lane hero. I still don't think he's a good tri-lane hero. A lot of people is gonna tell me that I'm wrong, but it's just my personal experience. Venge actually going for a very deep into the enemy territory and places a ward behind the first tower, excuse me. And you might be thinking, right, why is he placing such an offensive ward as that Venge is going to pay with her life? Why is it putting such offensive ward? I think that is actually a pretty defensive ward in nature. Let's say if you have that Dusa farming the bottom lane, and if you have a sufficient ward protection, and they do, look at this ward by the Roshan area, and look at this ward, counter warded over here. If that Dusa was farming the bottom lane, the only really good gank pattern against the Dusa is going to be teleports into the tower, and this ward is going to see all TPs onto that tower. So it's kind of an odd defensive ward, but it really works. But that requires even more so other kind of ward support. But aside from that defensive purpose, there is really no big reasons to put that ward down. As we see, Vice is being jumped upon, and we are going to see the mobility of Sentinel starting to pay off. That Clockwork hook, the Morphling wave, and the Blink Dagger Sven is going to just dive everything and everyone. And I don't think the Scourge come back at this point. Yes, they do have Dusa. Dusa is farming like a beast, 87-21, probably out farming that Morphling, definitely out farming that Morphling. But the fact that they're so behind right now, it doesn't really matter. This is deja vu of NWO versus Nirvana China, where we see Nirvana China, having the better late game, and they're farming extremely well, but they are just losing the early game phase so much. And I gotta say, that's probably due to the bad picking done by Nirvana and Zoe once again. Nirvana and Zoe, yes, he could play the Dusa really well, but it seems like he's getting so outpicked these days. And I think MYM Melk from MYM, once said, picking is like 40 or 50% of the game. You might have like the best players on your team, but if you pick a crap team, it doesn't really matter. Especially in this high skill where everything really does matter. It looks like this is gonna go down. Oh no! If one more person is gonna come, Stormbow is gonna be flying, and that Enigma is gonna be dying. Meanwhile, Dusa is gonna get ganked once again in the bottom lane. She is very tough. There is two familiars to come in for the support, but meanwhile in the mid lane here, Enigma is gonna go down to that Pugna. Pugna is just being a baller this game. 8-1, 93 creep kills. So actually he's out farming Dusa. Never mind that 94 to Dusa's uses 97, so they're neck and neck in terms of farm, but the 8 and 1 is a lot more impressive. Meanwhile, Morphling has 93 creep kills to his name as well. Does have that Lincoln Sphere. I don't like this Lincoln Sphere, especially when you're winning so much. Like, that Lincoln Sphere is really a defensive item, and since you're winning so much, you might as well go for even more damage. Like, if that Manta was finished right now, this tower would have gone down extremely quicker instead. I just don't really like Lincoln's first on Morphling. 3 months ago it would have been good. 3 months ago it would have been good because the metagame was a little bit slower at that point.